Hello, and welcome back to my Factorio tutorial series. Man, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Um, Today is an episode that I'm very excited to talk about. Um, I'm going to be going over construction robots and logistic robots and what they do. I'm going to talk about a logistics system as well as these construction robots. So, a few items that deal with construction robots and logistics systems are the RoboPort, which is what holds your robots. I've got one of each in this RoboPort. They take a lot of electricity to hold, so if we look at this power, they drain 50 kilowatts normally, which is an entire solar panel almost. And then when they're charging up, so let's get rid of this, and let's place another one down. When they're charging up, it takes 5 megawatts. And then when it's fully charged, um, you'll see the energy, the electric network satisfaction, the amount of electricity goes back down. I was hoping it would do that while I was stretching. There we go. Okay. It drops back down. See, now that it's fully charged, you can see the electricity in the bottom right. Um, it drains 50 kilowatts from your network when it's not charging. So let's put this construction robot and this logistics robot back in here. And let's talk about construction robots first because they're more simple, I think. So let's say I've got a whole bunch of items, all of this big gross mess that I want to get rid of, but I don't want to pick it up by hand. I can, if I have this item, a deconstruction planner, the other items that I have are a blueprint, which saves designs for automated construction. These are really helpful if you're building the same thing a bunch of times. You've got storage chests, which is long-term storage for the logistic network. It's the same size as a steel chest. You build it with a steel chest and 3 electronic circuits, 1 advanced circuit. All of these are the same recipe. These storage chests just hold things. These requester chests ask for things from your robot network. These passive provider chests say, hey, I've got stuff in me that you can use if you want. And these active provider chests say, hey, I've got stuff in me that you need to use. Get it out as soon as you can, right? So if you have a storage chest as well as an active provider chest, your robots will move the stuff from the active provider chest to the storage chest unless this is full. But I'll talk about that later. So for now, we don't have any storage in our. This RoboPort has 2 squares, an orange square as well as a green square. The green square on the outside is the construction area, which if you look on the right, it's 100 by 100 tiles, and the orange square on the inside is the supply area, or basically the logistics area. So your logistics robots can see only as far as the orange square, but your construction robots can see as far as the green square, which gets to be important later on. So if we zoom back in here, we don't have, if you look in this orange square, we don't have any of those 4 special chests in that orange square, which means that if I use this deconstruction planner, I can tell my construction robots to get rid of this stuff. You click and drag over it, and then you let go. It puts X's on it. Your robot goes, because I've only got one robot, he goes and picks it up, but he has nowhere to put it. So he's just going to sit there until he has somewhere to put it. So let's give him somewhere to put it in this storage chest, and he'll pick it up, move it, and then he'll go through and pick up every single one of these eventually. To help him out, let's grab a couple stacks. These guys all go pick them up, put them back, and they start to fill this storage chest. These robots have 4 charging ports, which means if I have like all of this, and then I tell the robots, hey, come pick all of this up, they will, but then they need to recharge before they go to bed in the RoboPort, and they can only recharge 4 at a time, so they'll wait here until all of them recharge, they take turns, and then when they finally do, they enter the robot port again and wait. Let's put the storage chest back down. If you hover over it, you can see on the right the number of available robots. I've got 101 construction robots and 1 logistics robot. So if I place a whole bunch of belts, more than 101, right? And I want to deconstruct all of these. So I say, hey, get rid of all of these. Then if we hover over this, our construction robots, wow, that was pretty quick. If you don't have enough robots to pick up all the stuff, you'll get a little warning down here that says some items are missing the robots for construction. So let's do this. Let's show you how to use a blueprint, because we've got 125 in here now. So let's say we want to make a belt balancer for 4 lanes, just like this. And then let's go straight, over, up, up. Right, this is just a normal 4-lane belt balancer. But we need to put it down a bunch of times. Let's grab this blueprint. You select the whole thing, then let go, and it will show you what you've blueprinted. So if you're blueprinting something really big and you're not sure what you want, you can check this out to make sure you got what you need. And if you right-click, then it removes items from the blueprint in case you selected things you don't want. You left-click to bring them back. So, and then to keep this, oh, I guess you can name it something else. Belt balancer. I think it's balancer, yeah. And then we click create blueprint, or we can click cancel blueprint. Let's click create blueprint, and it will tell us this is a belt balancer blueprint. Oh, that's really nice to know. And then if we click, so right here, if we click, nothing happens because we're trying to build it on top of something. The pieces of the belt that are blue, it's saying this item is already here. The pieces that are red, it's saying something else is here. And the pieces that are green, it's saying you can put this here. So we make the whole thing green, and then we click once, and the construction robots build it. But because we don't have any underground belts or splitters in our storage network, let's get a stack of each. These remain unbuilt, and it gives us an alert that says 9 objects are missing the material for construction, and it's splitters and underground belts. We need 5 splitters, 4 underground belts. So let's put these 2 stacks in here. It picks up the rest of the items and it builds it. If you put it over itself, it shows that everything is already there. We can build some more. Another cool thing we can do is, and this is what it looks like if you need more charging ports, because these robots are all waiting to be charged. Let's tear down all of these. The robots will tear them down. It's saying some objects are missing construction robots. One of the cool things we can do is we don't even need a blueprint to tell our construction robots to make things. If you hold shift and then you click, it does the same thing as blueprint, just with whatever item you're holding. So I can do this, and it will put them down where I told it to. Even though I don't have a blueprint of that, it'll put it down because I used the ghost mode. So that's one thing I could do. If let's say I wanted to make like a whole bunch of steel chests in a row, but I don't have any steel chests now, right? Then as I get steel chests, it'll start putting them down. And then once I have all the steel chests, it'll make them. That's one way to plan out something, and then just let it build as you're maybe producing the materials for it. And then you can deconstruct it just like that. That's basically all that construction robots do. One thing that is important to note, I guess, is, let's say we have uh, a ton of steel plates, okay, in this steel chest right here. Actually, that's not even enough to fill it. We need to fill it. So let's say we have a full steel chest, right, and we tell it to deconstruct this chest. What it's going to do is the construction robots are going to take everything out of the chest first and try to put them in storage, and then take away the chest. So we tell it, and all of our construction robots are now being used because we have a ton of steel in there. But we're not going to have enough room in this storage chest for all of that steel. So now they're going to sit here and wait for more storage. So let's put down another chest. It'll get rid of all the steel. And then eventually, it gets rid of the chest as well. And then these guys wait so they can charge. One way to help them is to make another roboport next to it. And once this roboport fills with electricity, they'll start charging here. But actually, these ones already have been told to charge here, so they're not going to charge here. But now, if we had that same thing where we've got a chest full of steel, and we get rid of it, then the robots can use either of these to charge, and they'll fill up and then live in both, right? So that's basically construction robots. You can tell how much you have. You can tell them to build things or destroy things. But that's it. Construction robots only pick things up or put things down. Let's grab some logistics robots and let's put them in here. And I'll show you what a logistics robot does. Let's say we've got these storage chests. If I hover over a storage chest, it'll show you the logistics system storage, which a logistics system is basically every chest that is connected to your logistic robots. It doesn't include normal chests like these steel chests. If I had this full of steel, like if I take out all this steel and I put it in here, then if I hover over this, you'll see the steel went down because it doesn't include this chest, because this is a stupid chest. It's just a steel chest. These storage chests are smart chests, so I would need to take out all the stuff in this steel chest and put it in these smarter chests to put it in the logistics system. And then I can access the logistics system with these slots here, which you research right here, which are called character logistics slots, and they allow you to request items from the logistic network. So you start out with none of these, but you can get up to 6 rows of 5 each, so you can get 30. And let's say I want to make sure that as long as I'm in this logistics system, I want to have 100 steel plate in my inventory at all times. The logistics robots will grab it from the storage and bring them to me. And then these logistic trash slots, I can put stuff into them, and the logistic robots will come take it from me and put it in the storage system. And that's how these logistic trash slots work. Another thing that you can do is you can build requester chests. So these requester chests are basically the exact same. They use logistic requests, which are the exact same as your logistic requests personally. So if you want to have 100 steel plate on you at all times, you make a logistics request for 100 steel plate. And then if you like use half, then it'll bring you 50 more, right? And you can tell a requester chest to ask for 100 steel plate as well, and it will put 100 of the storage chest or from a passive provider chest into this requester chest. And if we start to take stuff out of this chest by doing this, right, then as it takes stuff out, this will be refilled. and these robots are trying to keep it at 100, even though we're bringing stuff out of it. So as long as we have steel in our system, these requester chests will be trying to make, will be trying to have as much as you're requesting in them at all times. But because we're taking stuff out, we need robots to be constantly delivering stuff. If we get rid of this, they stop because now it's got 100 in it. Now it has a little bit over because we had too many robots coming at once. If I have more than enough steel and I put it all in my trash slots, it'll get rid of all of it and give me back 100. Let's get rid of this requester. If we have passive provider coming from like an assembling machine, this is something that people do a lot. You have an assembling machine with a requester chest on one side and a passive provider on the other, or you'll see it set up with just like this, and you've got inserters going back and forth, right? And we say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this creative provider chest, which isn't in the normal game, but basically it's a passive provider chest that just has every single item in the game in it. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's have this machine make electronic circuits, which take copper cable and iron plates. If we shift right click on the machine and then shift left click on the requester chest, then it will tell this logistic request what we need for the assembling machine. Times 10 it looks like, because this takes 1 and 3, and these have a 30 and 10. It looks like this doesn't actually have every item in the game because it's not filling these chests. So let's say I had the cable for it and I had the iron plates for it. Then it's going to start putting this stuff in here. It's going to build these chips, right? Which are put into this provider chest, and then the provider chest works just like a storage chest, where if I say, hey, I want chips, it'll grab it from these provider chests and bring them to me. And provider chests can be used both for player requests or requester chest requests, or if I was like building, let's change this to solar panels. If I'm building solar panels, let's get rid of this. Oops, let's get rid of those and then these. And let's shift right click, shift left click here. It's going to start putting the stuff that we need in there. Let's say I've got the copper cable for it. Then as it builds these solar panels, what it's going to do is put it into this passive provider chest. And then if I tell my construction robots, hey, build a solar panel here, they'll go grab it from the passive provider chest and build it here. So that's one way, like if you're trying to build a huge solar farm, then you can just lay it out like this, and then as this makes them, you'll start to get robots putting them down, right? So we've got 3 here. It just made another one. A robot goes, picks it up, puts it down. It makes another one, puts it down, right? So you can set up future buildings that as you build, as you create the materials for it, they'll be built over time, right? So that's passive provider chests, requester chests, and storage chests. The last kind of chest is an active provider chest, where if we have an active provider chest and a passive provider chest, and they both have 200 green circuits in them, these will just sit here forever until they're requested, because it's a passive provider chest. But if we have a active provider chest full of stuff, then it immediately takes the stuff out of it and moves it to whatever needs it. But because I'm requesting 200 electronic circuits, it'll just bring it back to me. If I get rid of this and I put these in here, it'll put them in a storage chest until something requests them. So let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of these. Let's see, is there anything else to teach you about robots? The robots can, like right here, I'm not getting enough steel, right? Oh, but that's just an ARM problem. If we make a bigger logistics request, like 3,000, 1,000, and 1,000, then if this was producing really, really quickly, then the throughput of this chest just went up a ton because all of these robots are bringing a lot of materials to it quickly, right? So sometimes you'll get into a situation where, like, if this were making, let's change this to copper cable, and then change that to that. If we only request 10, and we put these copper plates in here, then you'll see, oh, this has something in its hand. So let's see if we can take that. Oh, we can't. So let's get rid of this. Let's put it back down. Then you'll see we're making stuff faster than we can provide the copper plate because we run out of copper plate in this chest before we can put it in here, right? So if we request like more, then your throughput goes up a lot because now we've got plenty of copper plate to put in here as it is being used, right? So now it's going to produce super fast, right? Like 800 a minute fast. So that's one way to increase your throughput, and why bots are superior to belts for some things is because bots have theoretically unlimited throughput as long as you have enough bots and enough supplies. But I believe that is all. Oh, I should talk about the blueprint book. A blueprint book, you right mouse button to open, and you can hold blueprints in it, and then when you pull it out, if you shift and hold up, it'll go between your different blueprints. So right now I've got an empty blueprint and this belt balancer. If you shift and scroll, it'll go between them, right? And then if you have a saved blueprint, like this belt balancer one, and you hold shift and right click, it'll disappear. I think you need an advanced circuit in your inventory to do that, but you may not anymore. That might have been an old thing. Yeah, and then I think that is all as far as robots go. This auto trash, I think you can say auto trash 100, and then let's stop requesting. Yeah, auto trash, I'm not entirely sure what this does. I'll have to make a video about this later. But I think it helps get rid of your stuff. Anyway, I think that's all as far as bots go. Oh, one more thing before I end this video. You can connect two roboports. See this yellow line between the two roboports? That's saying that the logistics system is connected between them. But if you go too far, then you get a gap. And one cool thing you can do is have a gap of 1. This is called a logistics system bridge. If you place this roboport here, and then let's give it some power, this is going to fill up, but these are not connected because there's this one space gap. Then if we have requester chests in the left one and provider chests in the right one, and we can go the other way, this is called a bridge. And what it does is if you have items in this logistics network that you want in this one, but you don't want to connect the networks, you build this. And what this does is you can say, hey, I know I've got a lot of steel in this one, but I don't have any steel in this one. In fact, I have nothing in this one. So let's request 100 steel, and it will move the steel from this one over to this one. And let's give this one some robots. And then if we say, hey, now we've got a bunch of steel, but now let's say that we've got a bunch of blue science. We've got a ton of blue science in these storage chests right here. This storage chest has a ton of blue science in it. And we need blue science over here because this is where our labs are, is in this logistics network. So if we request blue science right here, which is, there it is, then it's going to take from here, put it in these requester chests and over to these provider chests. And then let's say we're requesting blue science to put in like a lab over here. So we say, hey, bring us some blue science. Then it's only going to take from this provider chest. It won't take from this storage chest because the two are separated. That's how you can keep your logistics network separated. But I'm not sure. Let's see what happens if you like build some belt in the middle, because that is in both logistic networks construction area, right? So if I get rid of it, oh, but this one doesn't have any construction bots. So let's put some construction bots in here and see what happens if we bring a line down the middle. Where will these belts go? Will they go to this storage chest, or will they go only to these storage chests, or to both? I'm not sure. So let's get rid of this. We only have construction robots coming out of here, so they all go over there. Let's say we put it more into this logistics network, and we get rid of these. We still only get them coming out of here and coming over here. But if we go too far, where this is only in the second logistics network, then we can see these robots do work. They're not broken. So I think that is it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like. If you think that I covered something poorly, which could very well be the case, or if you think I got something inaccurate, or you want me to teach you about something else, like trains, maybe circuit conditions, maybe ratios or something, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. Or if you have any feedback in general, I'd love to hear it. But until then, thanks for watching.